Hello guys and welcome back. So we have basically set it up the hair's shape, and this is a very simple grooming, right? I'm not doing anything crazily detailed, but this one already consists of a lot of workflows that I just introduced with from the base all the way to those modifiers, guidelines, and different layers of sculpting just to achieve a good enough result here. And there are much more you can do, like you can keep adding refined detail here and there, like this one here I'm adding earlier, right? You can actually see the different, so that's without it, that's with it, right? And we have done a lot of things, like here we have the shape refined, so that's the shape I'm getting after the guidelines, and I use that shape refine to give me better overall contour of the face. The hair, very important. And I use those guys here, right, to do the noise and everything like that to give me better result too. And a lot of technique here happening to the guidelines. We use the guideline to help us shape the basic shapes, and that actually involves multiple things, like generating those guidelines, and then we use those maps to control the region, right, and the region mask, and they are also being used to the clump modifiers too, right? So, and we use node-based weight to share the same texture. All right, so afterwards you may want to go ahead and do some rendering, maybe change the hair color if you want it to be to do that, right? A lot of things you can still do with the shading part. And before you do that, you may want to check if you have any part that is having some empty area that is exposing the skulls. That could happen because I dragged this one down. I guess that's what's happening there. And you can go ahead and use this one of the density brush, right? You can add some density there to fix those empty parts. Oops. Let's keep adding. I think I did too much over there. Alright, at least it's blocking there now. And also just draw something here and something there too, just to add more density there. Okay, and of course you can go to the two settings and determine if you're going to increase or decrease, or what's the max density there, right? But you can just use value 1, so every time when you draw, you're adding 1, you can make that max density all the way up to top. All right, so that's some just a little bit more thing you can do. All right, now let me go ahead and do some test render. I need to change my lighting back. This is just my preview lighting in the viewport. Let me Control H to hide it and unhide my anode lighting. Okay, and it's not supported here because the material is a different material and the lighting is a different renderer, so it's very incompatible. But we can now go ahead and do a render test. Oh, before I do that, let me also give my body the material back, which is the skin shader, right? And let me zoom in and do a anode render. I can actually dock this guy here on the side and click on the render. Alright, so this is what I got. And a good thing about this Extreme workflow is that every little hair strand is actually every little hair strand here. So you're not working bland at all, not like other workflows that you have to create guidelines, but you never really know how the final result looks like. And that's a disaster to me, because you have to do a lot of trials, and you can never fully control the shape you're getting. And this is just one of the ways that this is one of the ways that actually gives you the preview of the final result right in the viewport. And I think that's important. If you can see that, it's going to be a lot of trial and guessing and testing, and you're really working bland. Okay, so that's really bothering me sometimes. But this workflow actually don't have that big issue here. Okay, now to change the hair color, you can go Window and go to node editor, and you can create a new material called AI standard hair, and that's gonna be a anode compatible hair material. You can select the hair here in the viewport and right click on it and set material to viewport selection. Okay, so its default is going to be kind of black. Let me do a render here, and you can see the result. And in the attribute editor of that hair material here, and you can take a look at some of the settings. One of the settings I can try to do is the red color here are something here called million or something. You can turn those off if you don't want that. I guess that's those things. You can also turn the base color down just to get rid of that. Oh, that's actually too much. Oh, that's actually how much the base is. Okay, and you can do other things like the actual hair color that you can define, which will be underneath the diffuse color. I can actually change that to something else. Let me try some sort of I don't know, interesting color maybe. And you have to turn the diffuse up to really see it. I kind of like the original blonde color, so I'm gonna go for that if I can. Maybe a little bit of red color instead of it. Maybe a dark red would be nice. It's all up to you now to design it. Okay. Alright. So there are some presets here too. If you can, let me drag it over. So there are some presets you can do here too, which is going to be underneath this preset, and there are some other colors that you can do. Okay, if you wanted to try that. And I guess that's it for the hair grooming. Longer hair. For shorter hair, it actually should be easier. For more complicated ones, you probably just need to spend more time on it. And now a few final tips here that for the hair creation is that first of all, it's never easy. It's gonna take be prepared to spend a day or so to really work on the hair if you want to get very good and complicated result. Another thing is if you want to create good hairstyle, you have to understand that hairstyle, right? Find some YouTube video about how those hair are being made, so you understand how hair goes, right? How those styles are being made, right? And another thing is you have to be really careful about the density in the settings of the editing room. The settings here, the density of the hair base, you want it to where's my attribute editor? Let me turn it back. You want to make sure that your density is high enough to start with, so that you don't have to deal with low density part like that. I can of course use my density brush, right, to add more density there, but it would be better to have more density to start with. So you can use guidelines to define the basic shape anyways, so you don't have to worry about too much hair at the very beginning. Okay. Alright, I guess that's it for the hair grooming, and maybe I can move on and do some sequel on the eyebrow eyelashes, because I don't have those yet. I can maybe spend some time to do those, and then we can see how everything put together and how it looks like. Alright, cool. So thanks for watching, and maybe I can see you next time in my eyebrow and eyelash tutorial. Okay, bye.